So I experienced firsthand the symptoms that I'm helping people fix right now.
A lot of agency owners, we just go through question after question after question, but really you want to be like what Manuso said and be the
We make sure to analyze what your body needs. Based on that, we tailor and personalize what to do, your behaviors, your diet, your training, the routines, whatever you have to do.
one of the profound ones. You immediately had me doing cold showers for 3 to 5 minutes to replace pre-workout.
Doing something like a cold shower amplifies the cortisol production we have in the morning.
You made me realize building a business and ultimately building yourself, improving your life is a What's up, guys? I am with Manusos, my performance biohacking and focus coach. He literally has gotten my agency from 30K all the way to 60K a month within 90 days. And literally he was with me for the entire time, helping me level up not only in my business, but also in my life. And the crazy part is he's also working with some people who you may already know, like Thomas Gannett, Nathan Nazareth, Jordan Platten, Corey Albert. And he's like helping all these guys transform their businesses. And then it's not luck. It's not fluke. He's really helping these guys grow their business just like mine. And I'm excited to share with you how he's been doing this for other businesses so you can take some good points away from this video and obviously apply it into your own life so that you can grow your business. So without further ado, Manusos, welcome, man. I'm excited to interview you. Thank you for taking some time to do this with me. Really quick, if you can introduce yourself to the audience, people watching this video, who you are, and also your story and how you got to working with business owners.
Yeah, first of all, Marques, thanks for having me, man. So yeah, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Manusos, and I come from a small place in Greece called Crete. It's an island. So the way I got started in this and like subsequently working with you, Marques, is it all started when I was a young guy. Uh, it all started with fitness and health, and as many of us have started in this, working out. Okay, so how I got into this was I started up as a pretty normal kid, pretty normal life. I started working out. I developed a passion for fitness, like running, bicep curls, push-ups. And then long story short, when I was around 17 years old, 2017, 2016, I started studying uni, nursing school, something that I had zero passion about, something that I didn't want to do. So how it works in Greece is you get a specific subject to study. And so what I got was nursing school. And the reason is because I just wanted to live home and live alone. And so I was still working out. This is when I went and I left my home place, my hometown, and I went to university. And this is when I started developing bad habits. I started being addicted to weed, playing video games, and my lifestyle. The only healthy thing that I was doing was I was working out. So I was counting my macros. I was working out, but I was smoking weed every single day, and I stayed at home and I was playing video games. So my behaviors were pretty self-destructive. So 2 years of uni passed by, me not being a student at all. COVID comes, like the first quarantine in Greece was like 2018 or something, ends of 2018, beginnings of 2019. Then I'm forced to go back to my hometown, and this is where my self-destructive habits kind of like showed up in my life. So at that time, I became pretty depressed, and I had anxiety attacks. I developed allergic asthma as a result of me staying indoors in my uni hometown, smoking every single day, not cleaning the place. I was pretty much in a rut, and so I developed allergic asthma, anxiety attacks, and depressive behaviors. Somewhere along the lines, I also started my own business. So I started my coaching gig, let's say. I started coaching a few of my friends that were paying me. And I also started running ads at the time, right? So I started running ads. The ads worked, and I started making money. I started having lots and lots of calls. But the issue was I was going to the gym. There was a time in which I was taking like 10, 12 calls a day. And because of my messed up lifestyle, I was waking up at 12, 1, 2, going to bed at 2, 3, 4. waking up super tired, just had energy to take calls. Making money was a super new thing to me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make money, go to bed. I was super tired. Again, still dealing with anxiety attacks, right? So I experienced firsthand the symptoms that I'm helping people fix right now. So I was dealing with extreme low energy. I still was working out, but my energy for working out slowly diminished, right? So and by the way, in the trajectory of me kind of starting to run my business profitably, I was also studying to enter medical school, medicine. I was also studying medicine. But as my business grew, I like, okay, I'm gonna go full in on this, of course. And then the rest is history. Then I started working with guys like Jordan Platten, Corey Albert, you, Thomas Connett, all the guys that you mentioned. And now this is where I am helping other people, especially do this, essentially do the same thing, eliminate low energy and fix brain fog, so that they can perform better in the business.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. When I first heard that story, I was baffled. You never shared that with me before. And, it makes sense why you got into, what you're doing. Um, which is amazing because you experienced what we experienced. You literally took the journey that you were in and are helping us guide us into leveling up. And of course, we'll dive into this in just a minute, but the way you and I met, you kind of discovered I was literally in the same shoes as you. I would say I was working out. I actually had a good physique. I was powerlifting and I felt pretty good, but I was also drinking 3 Red Bulls, but taking a good 30-minute nap in between, but yet still feeling sluggish during my sales calls. And yeah, so you are definitely right about how, we can look good, we can physically be in shape, but mentally, especially building a business, which in of itself is a sport, it takes a lot. So let's dive into how you actually found me. Let's talk about that really quick. So you want to go ahead and share the story behind that?
For sure. So of course, the way I found you, of course, the whole premise of this channel here is IGDMs, right? So this is how I found you, IGDMs.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Marques, sent a cold DM, right? We connected. There were a few hurdles between us actually jumping on a call. The first time we missed, I
Time zone
was
difference.
trying, I was trying to send you my calendar, and the time zones were out of whack. But we essentially, of course, obviously we made it, and we jumped on a call,
Yeah.
on 2 calls actually, and then at the end of the second call, we onboarded you.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
in a nutshell.
Do you want to dive into like the process? I specifically intentionally want to do this for agency owners to really understand, he said we went over 2 calls, so a 2 call closed technically, but explain how you dove in on that first call with me. This is really important for those, struggling to land clients in their agency too. So I kind of want to tackle 2 perspectives with this call with you. So can you dive into like the kind of questions you asked me, how it like felt to you, and of course I'll share my angle as someone who was on the side of listening and obviously having a pain of needing a change in my life.
My sales process, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, like how it kind of went, like what
Yeah, for
we went
sure.
over.
So the whole thing that we want to make sure in the call is that obviously we're a good fit, because this is a more of an exclusive offer, one to one. So obviously I can't help everyone out there that
Mm,
jumps in a call with me. So that's why I like taking a doctor frame, asking a lot of questions, seeing how we can help you specifically, and then based on that, I share what we can do and what makes sense if I feel like I can help.
right.
Uh, if not, there are a lot of things that we shared in the call that you could have gotten and applied them, and you could easily went a couple of steps ahead. But since you really wanted more in depth guidance and like plugging the whole system, tailoring your routine, that's why we kind of went with it.
Hmm.
But yeah, what exactly do you want me to cover? Do you want like the specific questions? What exactly do you want
Yeah,
me to cover?
no, I I guess that's my part to take. No, but you're 100% right. I love that angle. And a lot of agency owners, we just go through question after question after question, just because it's the sake of doing the right thing to get money. But really, you want to be like what Manuso said and be the doctor to these business owners you're helping, whether it's med spas, gyms, real estate agents, dissect their business, diagnose their problems. Just like he diagnosed literally my physical, emotional, mental states, literally, you want to diagnose their business's physical and their business owner's emotional state, right? You want to dig deep, and that's what Manusos did very well with me. Was he was overly curious and just kept digging deeper. And next thing I know, I'm sharing him very personal things that I wouldn't share unless I trusted him, right? And it came through high quality questions. So we don't have to necessarily go deep into it, but he definitely understood, like, man, I definitely can help Marques, right? And that's what came to it. So moving forward, we partner, we work together. What were some of the biggest protocols? I guess this is like the meats and potatoes of what a lot of people are here for. Is like, what are the actual things that you installed in me, and let's say in the first month that leveled me up? Because I saw results honestly really quick.
Yeah. So essentially, I expect people to be here and be like, okay, so what are some things I can implement? What did Marcus do, and so that I can take it from this video and apply it to my life. It's actually a bit more nuanced than this. Than like, okay, do this, do that, and then you're good. So essentially, the whole the way we build the foundations for anyone, but specifically for Marcus, is that we want to analyze what your body really needs. Okay. So how does your, like, one of the main things that we analyze is your circadian rhythm, your sleep quality, your stress levels, your recovery. Okay. Metrics like heart rate variability, etc. I'm not going to be very scientific.
Mhm.
Essentially, the very first things we did is because you already have the Oura ring,
Yeah.
we had a tangible metric, a measuring stick to have from the get go. And so we analyzed how your sleep was in the beginning prior to working with me, how your routine affected your sleep quality, your recovery, HRV, stress levels. And essentially, we adapted your daily routine based on how to get more REM sleep, how to get deep sleep, how to get more deep sleep, so that you can wake up feeling more energized. Now, the reason that on that first call, coming back to the previous question you asked, the reason that on that first call, I try to do my best to portray that I can help you is because this is the main, those are the main problems I help my clients with. So one of the things you experience yourself was that in the afternoon you had energy crashes. You essentially was drinking a lot of coffee and still needed to take a nap. Um, Symptoms like this, and also your sleep quality wasn't very dialed in.
Yeah, I think.
So yeah, so you were looking good, right? You still are looking good. Pretty athletic guy, had tons of medals in the background of like powerlifting and everything. Very into health, into sports.
Yeah.
But the thing is, looking good doesn't necessarily mean you're feeling good. And
Mhm.
so we want to make sure that we optimize your lifestyle, environment, and behaviors to be a mental athlete, because you were doing a good job being a physical athlete, but you're now a mental athlete. So we make sure to analyze what your body needs. Based on that, we tailor and personalize what to do, your behaviors, your diet, your training, the routines, whatever you have to do. So we basically, what we did on a like very high level is the same things that you're doing right now, just with the right data and feedback. Okay. So one of, like, we did a lot of things. You can start by some of the things that you saw that like were kind of like new to you, right? Oh, we did this, which is pretty interesting. So we can then dive further into, like, as an example, right? What were some things you found interesting that we did?
Yeah, let's see here. One of the profound ones, and I don't know, maybe people want to give this a try, but you immediately had me doing cold showers for 5 minutes to replace pre-workout. So essentially, I drank, was it lemon tea with or water with lemon, some Celtic sea salt. which is pretty common. I would drink that, go take a 3 5 second or 3 5 minute cold shower, but I would do box breathing doing cold shower. So I would, you be calm and focused during it. And it would really wake up my nervous system. You said like it'll spike my cortisol, was that right? Um,
Yeah.
and then 10 20 minutes later, I'd be at the gym and actually energetic and ready to go. I thought that was interesting because I actually did not see a difference in my strength. If anything, I actually was more alert, thus much better in my performance, especially cardiovascular wise. Anyways, the other thing that I really liked was just simply dialing in my routine. Because a lot of times we just sit at our desks as agency owners literally for 8 hours straight, but it's really important to get your blood flowing. It's pretty commonplace, maybe not a lot of people who watch this know, but you told me very recently, sitting down is like as close to it is to smoking cigarettes. I mean sitting down for like too long of a time, right? So by installing walks, just 5 minute walks and taking breaks between my sales calls has really helped me be one better on the sales calls, but keep my energies high. Um, and then there's other things like sleep, dialing in my sleep routine, waking up, going to sleep at 9 p.m., waking up at 6 a.m., and then doing that routine I mentioned in the beginning and dialing in my nutrition, which has helped me feel better throughout the day. It all intertwines together as a fundamental like building block to what I'm doing now with you. Like you gave me some ideas with supplements. I'm feeling better than ever. Like it's amazing.
Yeah. And it's a lot of things like as entrepreneurs, as I said in earlier, is you are a mental athlete, right? And so you want to make sure you maintain high levels of energy consistently throughout the day. You want to make sure you have a lot of focus to funnel into your tasks and not be distracted all the time. Wake up feeling refreshed, right? And be able to acquire good quality of sleep at night. Now, a lot of things that people do in this space, and because of the nature of the job that you're doing, it's very sedentary, right? And so a lot of people, when they start making money, they're getting like sucked into the world of online business. They're like, okay, I'll like scale, and then after that, I'll like hire a personal trainer, and it's gonna be fine. But actually, as you're doing that, um, your brain is like you're not helping your brain function at the highest level, and therefore, if you're running an agency which is mainly sales based, your energy in the sales call will be impaired, which will affect your outputs in the business. And so it is extremely important. Like the cold showers are great. Okay. So doing something like a cold shower is actually something that amplifies the cortisol production you have in the morning. There are a lot of things that do. Caffeine also does that. But the issue with caffeine is that it will create the afternoon crash, right? So if you wake up, drink caffeine in the morning, as you probably know, if you're into the biohacking health optimization space, it blocks the adenosine in your brain. Adenosine is the tiredness chemical. But the issue is that if you drink your coffee straight after waking up or within the first hour or 30 minutes, then when caffeine wears off, the excess adenosine that's building up in your brain will create a slump and you will feel lethargic. And the only way to get out of the slump is to either take a nap or drink more coffee. Okay. So this is just an example. But it's very important, other than the basics like sleeping enough, 8 hours, doing a cold shower, exercising. It is also extremely important if you want to optimize your brain to see your bloods, to analyze your hormones, your gut microbiome, to make sure that what you're doing, everything that you're doing, is actually giving your body what it needs. Again, in terms of nutrients, if you have any hormonal imbalances, if the food's actually another funny thing with Marcus is that we actually discovered that his gut isn't able to tolerate steak. And so that causes long-term digestive complications for him, which will create brain fog, stress, fatigue, and other symptoms because the gut is responsible for the production of neurochemicals like GABA, dopamine, serotonin, and it's actually connected with your brain. I don't want to get into a ramble, but your gut is your second brain. And this is one of the main reasons why we we're so heavily focused on digestion. We're testing the gut microbiome. And so you see how we went from cold showers and walks to actually testing your gut, testing your bloods, testing your hormones, which is something that we did. And we actually personalize every one of your behaviors, your supplements, your diet accordingly. Is that right?
100%. Yeah. You know, that really hits it home. I mean, first off, you guys just got a taste of like every single time we meet weekly, like as my coach, he dives into one, holding me accountable to sleep, to all the routine activities I do, and importantly, dials in, and tailors what is gonna make sense for me. I personally think it was karma that I made fun of someone that you once worked with who couldn't eat beef, and I was like, man, I can't live without it. Next thing I know, I have to live without it for a little bit. Doesn't mean, like you said, doesn't mean for officially, but and you said I can have it as a cheat meal, but definitely was like, what? So it was funny. But yeah, Manusos, what is the last thing you would leave off with people who are growing a business like I am, whether they're at 10K? I said this last time to you, but like people, you can drink coffee from 0 to 10K. It just takes a few sales to close clients, and next thing you're at 10K. But once you're going from 10K to 30K, 30K to 60K, like I did, and beyond, like I'm going to do going to 2024, what is that? What is the thing you want to leave off with people to know? If they can take at least one gold nugget right now, what is that number one thing would it be? That like are in my shoes. Like they need to level up themselves, their life, their energy, their performance, their mental state. What would be that number one tip? Whether it's tactical, mindset wise, what would be that number one tip to them?
So essentially, as you said, it's everyone can grind, like be underslept, work 15-hour days, and grow to 10K a month, right? The issue is if you're underslept, if you're not living accordingly to your circadian biology, or essentially if you're not giving your body the essentials that it needs, you will be burnt out at some time in the future. And also your brain will not be able to think at its most clear state. Thumbs up, right? So look, the quality of the decisions you're taking in your business, your emotional state, your stress, your ability to your ability to cope with stress, right? Your ability to cope with high adrenaline states in your business. You have a lot of fires to put out. And the issue with the entrepreneurial space when you're running your own company is that you are in a very high stress lifestyle under very high. You're exposed to a lot of stressors,
Hmm.
so you have a lot of problems you need to resolve. If you're also incorporating health practices like fasting, exercising, you're also a bit underslept. This is actually changing the architecture of your hormones. So you're building more cortisol. Cortisol builds up. This long term is deadly to your cardiovascular health and also deadly to your testosterone. Okay, so let's say for example you have low testosterone levels as a result of undersleeping, not eating a healthy diet. You're inflaming your gut all the time. You're eating high omega-6 foods. Okay, and you're extremely stressed. You're not helping your body deal with stress. As a result, you will be more timid, more risk averse. You'll not be able to compete very well. You'll not be able to have enough drive, enough motivation, and you will not be competent at dealing with high stress situations. This is one side of the coin. Okay, when you're underslept, for example, when you don't get enough REM sleep in particular, your emotional balance will be out of whack. Okay, so every single thing that you're doing the next day when you're underslept will feel more heavy, more emotionally heavy. You will feel foggy. So you will wake up, feel tired, depend on caffeine to get through the day. You'll do that because that's your baseline. You end up, because you're drinking so much coffee, you end up sleeping worse. You wake up feeling tired the next day and you're in that self-destructive loop. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not able to think at your clearest, if you're not sharp, if you're not quick, the faster that you're able to take sharp and good quality decisions, the faster you'll be able to scale your business. Because when we're talking about leverage systems,
Mm-hmm.
building the strategy, right? Let's say you have the strategy, you have the to-do list, you have the business plan, you have business coaches, you're working with the best of the best, and you have the plan in front of you, you have the strategy.
Yeah.
So the only thing right now in the way of you accomplishing the tasks is your energy, your focus, your mood, right? And sure, motivation is crap. All you need is discipline. Let's hustle it out. But actually, the emotions you feel, whether you feel motivated, low, whether you feel focused, happy, energized, or tired, this is your brain sending emotional signals, actually. So, and the funny thing about this is that you can act with the way you're living your life can make your brain send different chemical signals that can make you either feel motivated, unmotivated, happy, unhappy, tired, or very focused and very alert. But if you have everything set in front of you, if you have a plan, and you also have you're performing at your peak, you have a clear mind, you are very resilient, you're very focused, you're not getting distracted, then what's really stopping you from moving faster than your competition, right? If
Yeah.
your brain is firing on all cylinders all the time, you have high levels of energy, you're able to take all that focus, energy, and high levels of brain performance and funnel into your business, then you will for sure get along of your competition, right?
Exactly. That's the one thing, and I'll say this last part for us here. You made me realize building a business and ultimately building yourself, improving your life is a science, right? It's a science, no different than us keeping track of numbers with our marketing and sales. It's the same thing. That's why with my aura, with what you do with my gut bio, like tests and seeing what works for me, it's all a science. And you've been allowing me to see it on paper virtually, like what I need to do in order to level up. And it's point blank, black and white. So Manusos, I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure all these guys are appreciative of it. In fact, where can these guys connect with you? Maybe your Instagram, do you have, I probably am dropping a calendar link, people, if you want to, in the description, if you want to connect with Manusos. But yeah, any final things, Manusos, before we head off?
Yeah, so first of all, as of course you now understand, I have a one-to-one coaching offer in which we also help Marques with. And essentially, the main goal is to eliminate low energy and brain fog. And so, if any of you wants to know how it works, or even see if we're a good fit to work together to help you do this and scale your agency, then click the link, the calendar link below the description, and we can see if we can do this and also guide you through the process of how it works. So that being said, it was a pleasure being here and speaking about this. It's something that I'm really, really passionate about. And also, it is really important. I feel it's something that a lot of people overlook.
Mm.
Um, I'm not saying this because I'm the god of business or anything, but like it is pretty common sense. And you experienced it firsthand, right?
Yeah,
You had the plan, you had everything laid out. Once you started performing at the higher level, having more energy, not dipping in the afternoon, then you scaled.
bingo. Exactly. All right. Much appreciated, Manusos. Thanks for hopping on with me and sharing golden nuggets about how we can scale our agency and ultimately live a better lifestyle as business athletes, as I like to say. So take care, guys. And if you enjoyed this and you want more videos like this, just go ahead and click subscribe and maybe comment what your number one takeaway that you're going to implement after this call or after this video is. So peace out, guys.